Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester. Panhandle Outdoors, your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. Glad to hear on this Wednesday morning, May 20th, 2015. Time is moving on, not waiting for anyone. A lot of seniors getting ready to graduate throughout the Panhandle, and a lot of good things are going on in outdoors. So let's get started this morning by the weather brought to us by Haney Technical Center at the corner of Baldwin and Highway 77. High today 86 and low is 71, and the water temperature has creeped up one more degrees at 82 degrees. So it is really, been leveled off about 2 weeks now at 81, but it did just creep up yesterday. Let's take a look at our river readings. The Apalachicola at Bluntstown. It is right at 5 foot. It's even 5 foot, and I can promise you this weekend there are going to be folks all over the river system in the lower end, on up around Weewall, around Chipola and Bluntstown. They're going to be hitting the river because they're going to be telling each other the river's right. All right, on the other hand, the Choctawhatchee at Caryville, it's really shot up with the rain we're having. It's right at 7 foot today. It's going to start dropping out as we speak. Really, it's going to be down to 6.8 and it'll drop on out. So it'll be falling fast by Friday. It's going to get back down to about 4 right there. We got a tide chart brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn Funeral Home and Cemetery. Their motto is when carrying counts, right here on 23rd Street. And we want to look at again, today's the 20th, so looking at those tides. We still got a strong tide flow going in, excellent tides. We got a high tide at 10:42 this morning, and low tide at 9:47. I got a good email the other day. Well, yeah, actually, I got one last night. I got one a couple of days ago too about some fishermen really having some good luck on these morning incoming strong tides on speckled trout. So it's really, really good movement going right there. All right, take a look at our marine forecast. Will be coming out of the west at about 10 to 20. All right, takes care of the weather. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back. Glad you're with us this morning. We're going to start off with an email I received, and then we're going into some pictures referring actually to the email, ironically, because I got another email and a picture same time I got this email. This is from Steve up in Defuniak Springs. He said, "Hey, Winston, I used to really enjoy Al Hubbard's writing in the Florida Sportsman magazine. Did he write any fishing books that you know of, and where could I buy one?" Steve, to my knowledge, Al did not write any fishing books. He certainly had the knowledge to do it. I don't know if he ever had the time to do it. I got to know Al over the years real well. Used to have a radio show when my book came out. He had me as a guest several times. It was wonderful to talk radio show. We're talking about just outdoors, just sort of like this on TV. But he had it going, and we get calls in from all over the Panhandle. Al Hubbard was quite an avid outdoorsman. In fact, I did a little piece on him in the book. But in addition, he was a very good and a prolific writer. He not only wrote for Florida Sportsman, he wrote the weekly column here in the News Herald. And ironically, Mike Purdue had sent me a copy recently of one of his articles. So this is just a newspaper copy back in the early 1990s. Here it is: trout lovers should wade right in Al's Outdoors. And the beauty of this, other Al on his headshot there on the right side, that is the late Bill Hastings. We did a little part of our show on Bill. Everybody loved Bill Hastings, and he was probably the best fisherman wade fishing around. Here he is. In fact, in that picture right there, he just won the May Bell Tackle. Used to have a May speckled trout tournament. The old Bell Tackle, not even with us anymore. St. Andrew would have the whole month long of May. Sort of like the guys are trying to get back together now doing it. So, and Bill Hastings won it. And he won it by wade fishing. He just was wonderful at wade fishing. And I've read a couple paragraphs on his article. Here's a closer up shot of him right here. And it was just really interesting to read that. And one of the things Al talked about in the article, I just chuckled when I read the article because Al was always chuckling himself. And one of the things he talked about, wade fishing, this is a good fishing tip, about how it's so important to, some people just get on shore and wade out, but a lot of people go from their boat. It's so important to stop about 100 yards away from where you want to fish and wade to that spot. His theory on it, the boat's going to spook them with a little noise of the boat. Sometimes the shadows of the boats will spook them. They think it's a predator and all. So he was really adamant about doing that. Really enjoyed reading that article. So that answers your question. I don't know if Al ever did a book. I did talk to his daughter for a period of time, and I think she's moved back to Texas now. So anyway, thank both of y'all for sending that to us. Okay, now let's look at a fishing picture here. This is really good. East Bay, coming straight out of East Bay. This is Billy Hornsby. Had some really good luck. That's a nice fish, Billy. He and his wife had a good morning. Look at the fish they caught over in East Bay this past weekend. I believe that was Sunday. Okay, good job there. Okay, how about this next one? How I feel when you go fishing without me. Okay, that's how all these little kids feel when you go fishing without them. You leave the house and they just start crying. Okay. Now, we're talking about that world record gator. I did find a picture of it. They're going to be unveiling it. I mentioned on yesterday's show. They're going to be unveiling it Friday morning in Montgomery, Alabama, and it is world record. It is 15 foot 9 inches. Okay, here's another picture of it. About the same picture as you standing. The lady on the right, the one that got it with a 20 gauge shotgun. Okay, now I want to talk about that. I was explaining in my class about it, and I actually I have a tape measure in my class, believe it or not. I had one kid stand on one end, and then I pulled a tape measure out. Here's 2 foot. I said, this is what so-and-so will catch a 2 footer. Then went on down, here's a 6 footer, and he can bite your hand off. And then went, all right, here's an 8, a 10 footer. They'll bite your whole arm off. And then I went, all the way. I challenge you to do that. Get a tape measure, get somebody to hold and stretch out 15 foot 9 inches and 1,011 and a half pounds. So it's fascinating when you don't realize how long 15 foot is. So go ahead and do that, okay? And the kids got a kick out of it. All right. Now let's look at on how to find Tarpanock seafood. We have winners every Friday, and some folks from out of town don't really know where it is and all. So I've got this map on to show you. Tarpanock seafood. Now there's a downtown marina there. You see Highway 77 to the right of the screen. If you want to, if you're out of town, just come all the way down there to Cherry Street and take a right. It'll take you to it. If you're coming in from the west end, you come along Beach Drive. Everybody see where Beach Drive is? Come down right there in the water. Comes on across there, and it's right past the City Marina. You can see the City Marina. You can almost throw a ball from the dock or Tarpon Dock to. Okay, here's a little closer up shot too. Okay, right there. It's right there on the bayou, right there. And in fact, they're unloading the boats. That's the mouth of Masalina Bayou. Okay. I talked to Greg Abrams the other day. He said he had some people who called him trying to find out how to get there. I told him I'm going to show people a map. So go ahead and etch it in your memory, and if you're having trouble, just type it in. But it is right downtown. Great fresh seafood. Okay, let's go ahead and take our break, and we'll be right back. Welcome back. I was about to sneeze. I'm trying to sneeze off air. I may have to do it right here, but anyway. Got word yesterday the mahi-mahi bite is going strong. Just turned on like Monday afternoon, yesterday, Tuesday, they were catching mahi, and they're just coming in. So I'll have some pictures for you tomorrow. Also, Mitch Coleman sent in a good report, and I didn't get to it Friday. I had so many other reports. I'm going to go ahead and read Mitch Coleman. It's like a little midweek report, and I like to do some midweek reports here. And he was talking about in Mexico Beach. Mitch runs that Florida Days Adventures. He was talking water temperature warmed up to 78 to 80 degrees and brought in a lot of large bait around the structure down there. The big blue runners are catching the AJs and large kings out to 20 miles. I've getting some really good reports on king mackerel being caught. He said also goes on to say pompano bite is still pretty good on the beaches using the fish bites in green and orange colors. And some flounder or trout at the canal are being caught using fresh bait and small white jigs. So that's a good report from Mexico Beach. I was down there Sunday. I had to run down to the Cape and checked on it, and there were a lot of fishermen at Mexico Beach. I always want to ride by there. I have two things. I smile because I'm happy to see them fishing, and then I frown because I'm not out there around them fishing also. So there's always good emotions seeing that. So the fishing is really good, and this week it continues to be good. Okay, the other thing I want to talk about is also National Safe Boating Week, and we're going to talk about that later. I don't really have time to get into it because I want to go into this video. This video is one of the old videos I did when I first started the show, and I have a little Whitney in it. It was fascinating because most of y'all have followed Whitney sort of growing up, and you see how sort of how grown she is now, acts now. But this is one of her first videos that I took Wendy and Whitney, just the three of us went fishing down on the beach. But what I want you to take from it, other than just enjoying it, is we fell back to a plan B because we started fishing. I remember that trip. We were fishing in the surf. It just got too rough, so we had to move to another location because we'd made up our mind the night before we were going to fish the next morning as the weather permitted, and it just started blowing on us. Got the waves up too high for surf fishing, and when it gets up high, it churns it up, and the bait sort of sits on the bottom, and the predator fish don't feed in really rough surf and all. So anyway, we're going to set up this video. We're going to go ahead and I want you to see how little Whitney is and see how fast they grow up. So let's go ahead and Jeff roll this video here. My first pompano of the season. Always happy for the first one. Check it out. It's about 9:45, about 10 o'clock. Small one. It's gonna be legal size though. Got on a little piece of shrimp, and the shrimp's not even fresh. I think I found a hole though. We're gonna see. I found that hole. I caught some whiting already, and been a good morning so far. Is it? All right, we got a lot of water. Catfish? Who wants a catfish?
That's the same one that you got.
Oh, I don't catch them. Ow, I don't catch them little. This is your catfish.
No, it's not.
This is your catfish.
You still owe me 25 cents since you caught that other cat.
I told y'all, every catfish y'all catch, you owe me 25 cents. So how much?
Give me some.
I've caught one, and you've caught two.
You've caught like 14 in the past 4 hours.
Hey folks, my plan A this morning is to go surf fishing, and we got out there on the beach and it was just way too rough, so I wanted to plan B. My plan B is always a great standby. Come down here to Indian Pass, to the old campground, and come in here and do some surf fishing. Now you look around, that's St. Vincent Island right over there, and that's the surf on the other side of it. That's the Gulf. Okay, swinging back around now. You're at that place to go to the bay, and there's a boat ramp in Indian Pass. Come on over here. Now, I've had everything set up. I had my cart out here. Everything I had, my all my rod holders. I'm starting to wrap things up. And what we're going to do, we had a good morning. Come on, Whitney. Let's show the folks what we caught. We had a good morning. We caught some good whiting. Caught some good whiting, some drum. Check this out. I've got this what's called a tailgate full. Here's a box full. It's a tailgate full. That's all I want to clean and all we want to eat tonight for supper. We could have caught a lot more, but basically that's going to do it. Now, you can see how close we are now. We're right here on the beach. Now, you can drive on the beach if you've got a beach driving permit like on the back of my truck. If not, you can walk. There's a camp right down to the campground. That's a boat ramp. So you see how close you can walk down here. Anyway, we're going to wrap it up here, right here at Indian Pass for Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester at a good morning fishing with my family, and we'll see you next time. Okay, welcome back. Hope you enjoyed that. It's fascinating how quick those kids grow up. Parents say it and grandparents say it and aunts and uncles and all, and it's fascinating to have such great memories. And that was a good trip. Now, remember what we did? We went, like I said, in the video, went to Plan B and really went from Panhandle to Whiting, but had a good outing and had a really good time. All right, let's take a look at our fishing game forecast for today, brought to us by Mark Coward of Edgewater Beach Realty, 832-6000. Give Mark a call and ask him where to go red fishing, because he and Michael sure do a good job with it. Our times today from 2:38 to 4:38 this morning, okay, but this evening 3:05 to 5:05. All right, those two times right there. I meant to do this a lot earlier, but my schedule sometimes gets conflicted, and I've been real busy. But this is the temperature chart, and you know how to do these little temperature charts. There's nothing fancy. It's not on any kind of great paper. If I did a notebook paper, and you can see I did it at school, but this is April 20, I did it for my class, April of 2015, the water temperature chart. And now I just want you to see March 31st on the bottom left-hand corner there, I went ahead and started it there, right, let's start over here, right here, okay, and then I want you to see something right here. It started going up, okay, the early part, and see where I started going up to 68 degrees, just back down, then it really started shooting up. And then I got all the way up here, and right here at 70, what I want to point out, this area right in here, gets up here, what goes on, and of course this, now for May, halfway through May, it's already up to 81, 82. What goes on when he goes up like that over the years, you know, with our migratory fishing, it's been fascinating, because what's going on is they're actually coming in with that warm, really warm water coming in. Now, if you remember, we took a pier fishing trip, a field trip with our students, and what happened, we went out there and didn't really catch any fish this time. I'll tell you about the previous time we went. We caught 169. Now, I was explaining to my students what had happened, okay, with that water temperature chart. I'm going to put this on up here too. This is just a calendar. Well, I said this is what I'm going to do when I retire. That first month I retired, this was this past April. I just want to show you what had happened on it, okay? We had originally planned to go fishing right there, and that was right at the top, right at the peak of that warm water coming in. We had to postpone it because the weatherman said 80% chance of rain, so we postponed it to this Tuesday, and the weatherman again said 80% chance of rain, so we postponed it to Thursday. We went fishing on this date, and you can see in that 2-week period now, those Spanish mackerel had come in there really strong right there in the middle. Everybody's catching them that first week or two. And I knew that when I originally made the bus request for the field trip to go fishing right then. And, you know, we listened to weatherman because we just couldn't take a chance of you know, kids, you know, lightning and all that. I'm not never second guessing myself, but it just goes to show you how crucial timing is when you're fishing the migratory run of the kings or the Spanish and all. It's just really, really important. So I just wanted to show that to you. I was trying to give the kids a good excuse not to be disappointed by not catching things, because I said the same kids went, the same age kids went last time, 18-year-olds fishing with the same pole, the same gotcha plug, at the same spot, the same time of day, riding the same bus, and we didn't catch anything then. So it goes to show you how it happens. Okay. Now, let's mention the red snapper. You see I put up behind me. Red snapper season is about to bust open in the state. It's going to open up Memorial Day weekend, which is coming up this Saturday. Will be the opening of it on the Gulf Coast here. And don't forget, if you get a chance to go down to Carabel, the Seacoast Marina, and their first one ever, their big red snapper tournament this weekend, it's going to be a fine one. It's going to be the first place prize of $2,000, second $1,500, and you can go down. You can actually enter when you get down there. So don't worry about having to enter later and all. So if you get a chance, run down to Seacoast. If nothing else, ride down there Sunday afternoon and take a nice trip and watch it weigh in. There's going to be some big red snapper, I promise you, brought in. I'm going to certainly try to get down there. I don't have an opportunity to fish it. We've got a busy weekend ahead of us. Okay, let me read this email right here, okay, from Mike and Pam. Hey, Winston, just got back to town last night and have not had time to YouTube the Thursday show with my stolen boat mentioned. That's a fellow who had a stolen boat and remember the strip down and all. But anyway, thank you for the time for doing it. Today's show was inspiring. This was the show on the kid, my granddaughter and her friend doing a Billy Graham show. Here's what Mike said about it. Today's show was inspiring. You should be proud of your granddaughter, and I know you are. But we all need to be proud of youth like this. And thank you so much for sending that in. Got some good feedback on that. It's sort of different from doing the normal outdoor stuff we did, but I actually showed that video to my students, and they were all very, very pleased with it, very complimentary of it. So it was a good feeling to have them do that, and then actually to share it with my viewers and to share it with my students, and I appreciate the feedback on that. So thank you all very much. So with that being said, we're going to have to start wrapping things up. I've got several other things I just didn't get around to. We'll try to pick them up tomorrow, okay? Okay, meanwhile, go ahead and make your plans for this Memorial Day weekend. First of all, to be safe, okay, because it's safe boating week, and also to get out of a position where you can catch some fish or enjoy yourself with some friends. All right, today, though, you make sure you do something good for your fellow man. You have a great day, and God bless.
Thanks for joining us for Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester. Panhandle Outdoors features hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.